It's 16 years later.
I'm that old.
Hey, is that Blair?
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Natalie, is that really you?
Can you believe it?
Mrs. Garrett, you're looking great.
Some things never change.
It's the Facts of Life Marathon on USA.
Featuring my favorite episodes.
Featuring my favorite episodes. I'm hip. Hey.
Girls, I still got it. They're all of our favorite episodes.
14 episodes in all.
This is so cute.
Hosted by Charlotte Rae, Lisa Whelchel, and Mindy Cohn. Get up close and personal.
The fact that my weight and my acne got seen by millions of people does not thrill me.
With your favorite characters.
There aren't too many similarities between me and Blair.
I need up.
Except we're both beautiful.
Find out what it was like on the set.
We had 8 years of camp.
A lot of laughs.
It's just a lot of fun.
How they all got along.
We all got along great.
We're like sisters.
They're great girls.
And what they're up to now.
Everything is totally different.
It's such a phenomenon to me.
I was going to say something else, but I didn't.
It's a 16-year anniversary special.
Don't remind me again.
The Facts of Life Marathon. All day on USA.
Anything could happen.
The Facts of Life Marathon is brought to you by Fancy Feast Gourmet Cat Food. Good taste is easy to recognize.
I don't recommend growing up on television in front of a lot of people because there are some really awkward stages.
I have a zit the size of Monte Carlo. The fact that, my weight and my acne got seen by millions of people does not thrill me.
Who wants to be a skinny pencil? I'd rather be a happy magic marker.
When you're on television, everybody feels like they can comment on those awkward stages and make a judgment. And that's really hard for a teenager if they're going through a pimply stage or a fat stage or a, bad hair year. Then, you're not doing that in private.
The original air date for the first episode of The Facts of Life was August 24th, 1979.
The Facts of Life was a big hit.
I don't know why it was so popular.
You think we're wonderful, and you're right.
I think it's because we were topical.
This isn't my real family. I'm adopted.
I think the show was popular because people really got to know the characters, and they enjoyed the characters. They liked them.
There was a character for everyone to relate to.
Any situation that the characters were in, that people enjoyed because they just liked to see how they were going to react. It's like old friends. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're doing with them. It's fun if you like the people you're with.
Our show just happened to appeal to the masses.
They liked it, and they told their friends, and it really built.
It's beyond me why it worked, but I'm just glad it did.
What was the name of Natalie's first article? Natalie's first article was titled, An 8th Grader Gets Angry.
I discovered Mindy. Did you know that?
I actually had no acting experience.
I don't even know if I was born in a hospital.
We went over to the Westlake School
It was an all-girls school, much like Eastland.
to get some ideas about what girls in school are like.
And I was one of the students she talked to.
I'd say, well, now, Mindy, are there any snobs at Westlake? She'd go, well, well, yes, there are. And she had that cute little voice and everything.
Beloved,
Something floated her boat because she basically came up to me and said, I'd really like to write a part for you on my show.
And she could say 1, 2, 3 and make me laugh. She was so adorable.
I'm having a good time.
The rest is history. Natalie was born. Hi, I'm Mindy Cohn, and you're watching the Facts of Life Marathon on USA.
Facts of Life was by far my favorite show on television. I totally grew up on it.
Tootie's my babe. Hey, Tootie.
The Facts of Life is our favorite show.
Best.
I don't know where I'd be today if the Facts of Life never came into my life.
The Facts of Life Marathon will continue after these messages.
I wanted it to be the kind of a series that I would be proud of and that I would want children to see.
We tried to touch on certain topics.
I'm a very progressive, liberal-minded, today person.
We had so many young girls watching our show, and learning a lot of values from our show.
Young people of our tender age shouldn't be working under so much pressure.
I wanted it to have good taste. I wanted to have good values, morality.
The situation is confusing enough without bringing morality into it.
Aside from it being entertaining.
We were these girls at this age when you experience certain problems, and I hope that we handled them well. It sort of made me feel good when we got a letter saying that we helped someone.
The Facts of Life Marathon will continue after these messages. What was the name of Blair's horse? The name of Blair's horse was Chestnut.
The Facts of Life Marathon will continue on USA after these messages. We all got along great.
We're like sisters.
I knew we were soul sisters.
Because we spent more time with each other than we did our own families.
And you either have a really close family or you don't get along.
There were definitely your, personality clashes that sometimes lasted a day, sometimes lasted a month.
It's no big deal.
We're all very different. And I guess that kind of helped.
We always made up, and we always were close.
So we never had a problem. We're very lucky.
The Facts of Life Marathon will continue after these messages.
Hi, I'm Lisa Whelchel, and you're watching the Facts of Life Marathon on USA. The Facts of Life Marathon will continue on USA after these messages. A typical day on the set was a lot of laughs, a lot of cutting up,
Not a lot of stress, not a lot of pressure.
lots of bagels.
But mostly, it really was like camp.
Surprise!
I mean, we had 8 years of camp.
Well, they would learn their lines very fast.
That's the truth.
We'd read through the script for the day, start blocking it out.
Sometimes they'd forget a line and they'd laugh.
By the time we actually finished the last few seasons, we were in such a groove of understanding each other, and we knew our characters.
We were able to maintain our girliness and not get too serious all the time, so we had a ball.
The Facts of Life Marathon is brought to you by Fancy Feast Gourmet Cat Food. Good taste is easy to recognize.
I'm Charlotte Rae, and you're watching The Facts of Life on USA.
The Facts of Life Marathon will continue after these messages.
I don't think there are any similarities between me and Blair, except we're both beautiful.
I know.
I really had too good a time playing the character, so maybe deep down I'm a lot like Blair.
Am I punk or what?
I think she had, most of all, a lot of self-confidence, and I think that's because she was probably told all her life that she was the angel of the world.
Think of me as a 10.
I think she sincerely believed that, and so that's why I enjoyed playing her, because I think she was just very innocent in believing she was wonderful. The Facts of Life Marathon will continue on USA after these messages.
Why was Blair so snotty?
When I look at you, I start to cry too.
The character of Blair was supposed to be a really fast-talking, sweet girl from Texas, and I was from Texas, and I guess I could talk pretty fast.
Take my break and whoop me.
So I thought, oh, this is perfect. But there was one line in the audition that I read very sarcastically. And then when I actually got the part and came to do the first episode, they had rewritten the whole character around that one line. And so that's why Blair was as snotty as she was. The Facts of Life Marathon will continue on USA after these messages.
Night at 7.
What were the names of the two Facts of Life movies? The two Facts of Life movies were called The Facts of Life Goes to Paris and The Facts of Life Go Down Under.
Hi, I'm Lisa Whelchel, and you're watching the Facts of Life Marathon on USA. In the beginning, we weren't very involved with the writers, but within a few years, we knew our characters better than the writers did.
I can even make this ugly thing look good.
We got to a point where the writers and producers would come to us, and we could go to them in turn and say, hey, I have an idea.
I've rented an apartment. I'm moving out.
So we were the only ones that really had a handle of, wait a minute, this is out of character. It might be funny, but, you know, it's not something that Blair would say.
I apologize. I was really rotten.
We definitely fiddled with lines and made it our own, and everyone was very open to suggestions.
I'm not that kind of girl.
And they really did respect us, and they would change it.
Dearest you.
There's a place you gotta go for learning all you ought to know about the facts of life.
It's 16 years later.
I'm that old.
Hey, is that Blair?
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Natalie, is that really you?
Can you believe it?
Mrs. Garrett, you're looking great.
Some things never change.
It's the Facts of Life Marathon on USA.
Featuring my favorite episodes.
Featuring my favorite episodes.
I'm hip hey.
Girls, I still got it. They're all of our favorite episodes.
14 episodes in all.
This is so cute.
Hosted by Charlotte Rae, Lisa Whelchel, and Mindy Cohn. Get up close and personal
The fact that my weight and my acne got seen by millions of people does not thrill me.
with your favorite characters.
There aren't too many similarities between me and Blair,
I need love.
except we're both beautiful.
Find out what it was like on the set,
We had 8 years of camp.
A lot of laughs.
It's just a lot of fun.
how they all got along,
We all got along great.
We're like sisters.
They're great girls.
and what they're up to now.
Everything is totally different.
It's such a phenomenon to me.
I was going to say something else, but I didn't.
It's a 16-year anniversary special.
Don't remind me again.
The Facts of Life Marathon. All day on USA.
Anything could happen.
Facts of Life was by far my favorite show on television. I totally grew up on it.
Tootie's my babe. Hey, Tootie.
The Facts of Life is our favorite show.
Best.
I don't know where I'd be today if the Facts of Life never came into my life.
Pizza. Isn't it, Walsh? Is it?
Wrong. Funicello.
Polish something. Pakalaka something.
Too much time.
Walsh?
Sorry.
I don't remember.
It's on the check. You? And I got your interpreter right here. Nobody jokes about my name.
The Facts of Life Marathon will continue after these messages.
Where was Eastland located? Eastland was located in Peekskill, New York.
It always amazed me that the writers and producers would come up with something to change the show a little bit.
Goodbye, Natalie. Hello, Hotlets.
I think what was great about the show is they really didn't just get stuck.
Yes, the girls were growing. I mean, they didn't keep them in braces.
I think any show that stays on that long has to change.
We always had different producers and writers that would come on board for a couple of years, and they always brought with them terrific ideas.
They wanted to change the arena from the school to a shop.
We really enjoyed that set at Edibles. We liked it.
I really liked the Art Deco shop.
Called Over Our Heads, which was like a novelty store.
It had a lot of pink and neon colors, and that was fun for us because they really had some fun things on the set. So when we weren't working, you know, we could eat some of the heart-shaped lollipops or play with some of the silly toys.
I think Mrs. Garrett was very warm, very compassionate. She had great empathy. One of the things I used to really argue about was her perfection. I kept saying, please, please let me lose my temper at the girls.
Girls, that's enough.
You know, sometimes kids would come up to me and say, I wish my mother was like you. I said, don't worry, I'm not like that when I'm home with my kids.
The Facts of Life Marathon will continue after these messages.
7.
And now, back to the Facts of Life Marathon, starring me, Lisa Whelchel. Well, it was bittersweet when Nancy came on.
I hate it when you do that.
It was sweet because she was really fun, and it was a terrific character for my character to bounce off of.
I'll get you.
And don't bother running. And that was really fun for me personally. But it was hard because I really liked all the other girls that had been on the initial few episodes. Of course, a lot of them have gone on and done terrific things, but that was hard to let go of the other girls.
Blair won the Eastland Harvest Queen Beauty Pageant 3 years in a row.
The show has officially been off the air for 6 years, but you walk down the street and people think, you know, you just popped out of their tube still.
Are you shocked?
Yeah, I'm shocked.
I would love to feel we were part of pop culture.
I still got it. This made me a household name.
People know you, and that's a good feeling.
If people feel about me the way I feel about, you know, the Brady Bunch and Gilligan's Island, then that would be really fun.
These are my brainwave conductors. It's very flattering.
When I was in China, there were some people from Malaysia there, and they said, "Oh, Mrs. Garrett, let me put my arms around you."
Young people relate to our show that way, then it's a compliment.
It was so amazing, the power of television.
The show has officially been off the air for 6 years, but you walk down the street and people think, you know, you just popped out of their tube still.
Are you shocked?
Yeah, I'm shocked.
I would love to feel we were part of pop culture.
I still got it. This made me a household name.
People know you, and that's a good feeling.
If people feel about me the way I feel about, you know, the Brady Bunch and Gilligan's Island, then that would be really fun.
These are my brainwave conductors. It's very flattering.
When I was in China, there were some people from Malaysia there, and they said, "Oh, Mrs. Garrett, let me put my arms around you."
Young people relate to our show that way, then it's a compliment.
It was so amazing, the power of television.
The cover girls.
Too little the violence. Swallows. The Supremes. The Bee Gees.
The girls been singing her.
Your sexy lingerie. That's what I named you.
Currently at home with 3 little children, and I don't have any intention to go back to work. I'm really enjoying raising them.
Right now I'm working on some theater in New York and LA.
The USA Network is one of my favorite networks now, because I'm also doing a series called Itsy Bitsy Spider. I play Adrian von Leuten. I love playing her. She's just mean, mean, mean. I'm Charlotte Rae, and you're watching The Facts of Life on USA.
It's so interesting to watch TV now or go to the films because almost everything I see someone who did some episode of Facts of Life.
Oh yeah, that guy was on Facts of Life, or she was on Facts of Life, or oh yeah, they were a guest on our show.
Yeah, I'm an actor.
It was kind of like a circus. There were so many of us.
I mean, it's really quite amazing after 8 years of shows how many guest stars have been on.
Gary Coleman.
Oh, come here, Arnold.
And Todd Bridges.
Zsa Gabor was a kick in the pants.
I'm thrilled to meet you.
Of course you are.
We were on so long that a lot of people just kind of, you know, made a stop in Facts of Life on the way.
Caps.
I'm so astounded that half my life has been involved in this show. It's such a phenomenon to me.
Like sand through the hourglass.
My life, the first nine years filming The Facts of Life, and the last 6 years since it's been off, is about as different as day and night.
These were the days of our lives.
I felt that I had dug into every nook and cranny of Mrs. Garrett, and I felt the girls really didn't need me anymore.
I'm very glad that it sort of has a life, and it continues to reach new people, and little kids come up to me, you know, who weren't even born yet when we were doing it, and say, "Hey, just caught your show, really cool."
Hold it! You guys are making a mess.
The adjustment wasn't hard,
I'm wonderful.
because I went from one really wonderful experience to another, but I got married within a couple of months of the last episode, and then had my first child within a year and a half.
When the series ended, I was ready for it to end. I really wanted to go to college. I wanted to sort of let Natalie die for a while, but as we can tell, it's not working.